everybody, and welcome to another episode of You, Me, and He, a podcast that's inside the computer. It's so simple. I'm your host, Hansel. He's so hot right now. I'm your host, Rob Lambert, and I'm joined by my co-host.
This is Josh Frankenstein.
And Drew Carroll.
That's right. And fellas, before we jump into an amazing show that we got tonight, we're going to talk Recast A Film with Sean Connery. We're going to talk about some brand new segments that we're going to be debuting here on the show tonight. And we're also going to get into just kind of what happened this week. But before we do, I have to let you know, fellas, in light of what we talked about last week, we ran a poll on social media asking people to chime in and let us know who's cooler, Gizmo Duck or Launchpad McQuack. And I have to tell you, I was so pleased to know 71% Launchpad McQuack. There.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. That makes my week right there. I'm so glad to hear that.
Most people who voted on that probably haven't even seen DuckTales.
That's probably true.
They probably didn't even actually know what they were voting on.
All I did was put some pictures of the both of them there, and he obviously is way cooler, so it may have been a little biased. What can I say? But at least we're not crazy. That's all I like to know that.
The ones who voted for Gizmo Duck is because they're actually trying to build a Gizmo Duck.
There you go.
Down in their basement. So.
Oh gosh, I can't even imagine what monstrosity they're going to bring out of their basement at that point. Anyways, so fellas, I took a crazy road trip this week. Made a big loop from Salt Lake City to Fresno, California, on the road for days and hours and miles. It was ridiculous.
Hey, can I just say real quick, it was great to see you.
It was fantastic to see you just pull right through California and wave to the sign as you continued going 70 miles an hour down 99.
He didn't even have time for a 5-minute hello.
Now, actually, here's the deal. Two awesome things that happened. One, I did stop in Chowchilla at the Starbucks, and I did see your mom and get to hug her, by the way, Drew.
I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great to see her. And then,
is it also true that you accidentally ran into your mom at the Starbucks?
That is also true.
Oh, Bobby, I didn't know you were in town.
Anyways, and then the other part... As we've talked about a few times on the show, we're from this small town, Central California, called Chowchilla, and there's a couple of Mexican restaurants that maybe we don't fully agree are the best. You guys say Tacos El Grulenza. I say Conchitas.
Wait, however, please don't tell me you had time to stop at Conchitas.
All I'm saying,
dude, you hit Starbucks and Conchitas and you couldn't say hi?
No, I did not. That is false. I had Starbucks, and then I went through the drive-thru of Tacos El Gruyenza, and I got a breakfast burrito, so you're welcome.
Okay, perfect. By the way, it's Tacos El Gruyenza.
Gruyenza?
Yeah, Gruyenza.
I just used to say Tacos El Grulenza. I think that was right. Anyways, we stopped at my mother-in-law's, and we don't have cable TV, but they do. And I was flipping through the channels, and of course, as soon as I see My 600-Pound Life on TLC, I'm going to stop because it's one of my favorite shows. But what caught my attention was not My 600-Pound Life. It was one of the commercials that was running in between for a show called, and I'm not making this up, Dr. Pimple Popper. Have you seen this?
Yeah, dude. I saw that trailer and I wanted to puke. It was so gross, dude.
Dude, we live in a time where television entertainment is a doctor who is just slinging pus for days.
Dude, don't say that. That's gross.
And the biggest ones too, man. Like,
dude, I saw
volcanic.
Oh yeah,
like volcanic.
Oh no, dude, I saw some on there. It was like somebody's knee or something, dude, and they like cut open dude. It was like a softball in there. And they cut it open, dude, and it was just oozing out like white lava, dude.
Oh, that's so dirty.
Oh, it was super dirty.
You just had to lance the knee, huh?
Yeah, just like give it a good poke, dude, with like a barbecue fork.
They're like, our regular scalpels can't handle this. Somebody, Lancelot. We need Lancelot.
Dude, need a chisel.
Dirty.
The lady in the trailer had just the largest hunchback that was just full of pus. So full of pus. And I'm just watching this going, dude, this is entertainment now. So,
dude, what causes that? I want to make sure I don't do it.
I don't even know.
Bro. How does a pimple get that big?
Dude, all I know is that it took me back to summers. I worked at a summer camp for quite a few summers, and there's just this fascination with popping things. I don't get it, dude, because there was this guy on staff. I remember this. There was this guy on staff. I think his name was Chris. I don't remember for sure. But he had the most, righteous back knee I have ever seen in my life.
Oh, man.
And, dude, for some reason, the ladies loved when he took off his shirt and they could pop him.
Dude,
and I'm just
that's gross. No. Those are girls that are single still.
Yeah.
And you worked with them 12 years ago.
And will die that way. They will literally die that way.
Dude, that is disgusting.
That is nasty.
Dude, I got a pimple the other day on my forehead, and I haven't gotten a pimple in years, dude. And it built up, and my wife was like, don't pop it, you gotta let it go. And then finally,
I have to.
Yeah. One day I was just like, I had it up against the mirror, kind of diagonally, and I popped it, dude, and it just boop,
projectile.
Right onto the mirror, dude.
Projectile.
Took me back to high
fantastic.
school.
It's so disgusting.
Man.
So, dude, that's just
really sour taste in my mouth right now.
I know. I'm sorry. To our audience, I apologize. I hope you're not listening to this during breakfast or.
So, anyways, what day does that air?
I don't know, man. But I mean, just at the end of the day, that is the state that we live in now. Entertainment is just checking in on people popping their hunchback. That's all
disgusting.
I have to say.
Yeah, but in all fairness, dude, those weren't normal pimples. None of them. Those were.
Do you think?
Massive, megalodon pimples, dude.
Megalodon?
Yeah.
This is the megalodon of all pimples.
Dude, they were huge.
That's dirty.
Do you think when she was going through medical school and she was trying to figure out what her specialty was going to be, she's like, it's going to be pus. I just bring on the pus. All I want is the pus.
Dude.
I've always wondered how doctors decide what it is they're actually going to study, what they're going to focus on. How do they get to that point?
Yeah, I do.
Who does rectal exams, dude? You're like, you know what? I found my true passion.
Yeah, for real. He's like, I was elbow deep in a middle-aged man and found myself going, this is why I was born.
Oh, dirty.
For her, it was the pus. Bring on the pus, dude. What can I say? So anyways,
gross.
Josh, hit me, man. How's it going?
It's going well, man. I had a less disgusting week than that. So, I mean, that's always
Excellent.
a positive, which is fantastic. But I just wanted to let everybody know I finally had what I would call my hipster moment of the week.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Is it that tank top you're wearing right now?
No, it's not the tank top I'm wearing right now. But if you say that it's close enough, I guess that'd be my second hipster moment of the week. So my first hipster moment of the week came yesterday. Drew here was gone for the day and decided that, he'd leave his dogs inside with the air conditioning. Super cool, right? You're a good owner, man. That's very kind of you. So he asked if I could stop by to let them out so they could run around and go potty. And what, is potty okay? Or is that too daddish on this show?
No, that's what Elizabeth says too. Dude, Elizabeth says that too. She's all, tell the dogs to go potty. I'm like, I'm not going to say that.
I'm not going to say that. See, this is the problem.
You're like, go take a dump.
Yeah. After you've gone through 4 kids, it's almost just kind of natural because you end up speaking their language. So I apologize to everybody out there where I had to turn in half my man card just now.
No, dude, today, really quick, today, my wife, while we're packing up in the hotel to make the final drive, the final leg, she looks at me and says, do you need to go potty? I was like, are you kidding me? I am a man.
Dude.
I am a full-grown man.
You asked me if I got to drop a deuce.
Yeah. Dude, it drove me crazy when Mom said that when we were kids. Don't call it that. Call it poop.
Yeah. I feel.
But just for the record, I did go potty. So anyways.
So anyway, I go inside Drew's house and I let his dogs out, and he asked me to let him run around for 15 minutes. So okay, that's not a big deal. And they won't leave me alone. They want to keep jumping up on me. So I took a page from Andrew's book and I just slapped each dog in the face every time it jumped up on me. That seemed to stop it. It was pretty cool. So anyway, they're out running around. Just none of them actually went to go take a dump. Did I get my man card back?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
I like the depth that you put into it also.
None of them actually went to go take a dump.
You wanted to say potty so
bad.
bad.
I'm just, I did. So I'm just sitting there, and Andrew has a fridge out on his back patio. So, and it's not locked. You know, what's really sad is in our area, a lot of people actually lock their refrigerators that are outside or freezers. It's just pathetic. But anyway, his wasn't locked, which was fantastic. So I reach in there, and lo and behold, what do I find? Can anyone guess what I find in that fridge?
I can guess.
Yeah. You know what's in your fridge.
Please
Rob,
tell me it's a LaCroix.
It is a LaCroix.
Yes.
Perfect. It's right there in the door. Cherry lime LaCroix.
Beautiful.
And I thought to myself, you know what?
I forgot.
These guys were talking about this. I should try. I should just try it. I mean, I'm over here. I'm taking care of his dog. So I grabbed this LaCroix, close the fridge door, and go sit on his patio furniture. And I'm just thinking, this ain't too bad. I got the backyard. The dogs are playing in the grass. And I got this LaCroix that I've never had before. And so I pop that bad boy open, man. And I take the first drink.
All right.
And all I hear in my head is Rob from 100 feet away going, cherry lime.
I thought it was going to be take a shower. Get in the shower.
And I was like, whoa, that was weird. Because this doesn't taste like cherry lime. This tastes like carbonated water.
Yeah, dude. Oh, those are the worst.
So I think to myself, you know what? One more shot. So I took another swig. And as I'm drinking, I hear this voice in my head again from 100 feet away going, cherry lime. And I was like, I don't know what the deal is with this crap, but I ain't drinking the rest. Dumped it out.
No.
Sorry, bro. Wasted your LaCroix. Or,
Dude, no.
or your wife's LaCroix.
No.
Or your friend who came over.
Someone brought those over.
Oh, is that the guy that you have the affair with?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Someone brought those up, just like the beers that are in there.
Yeah.
Tioga Sequoia Brewery.
Right.
I don't drink alcohol, but I'm definitely not going to drink IPAs when I do. So, no, that fridge is full of stuff that I don't like.
So I'm just going to run up my electricity bill keeping things cold that I don't drink.
Oh, it's for when people come over.
Dude, it's like a hipster Santa Claus. When you go to sleep at night, if you've been very good, he sneaks into your backyard and fills your fridge with LaCroix.
First of all, that's
And
funny
IPAs.
just the way that you said it. And if you think of it in a different context, it's even better.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so I didn't take a shower, but I did have my first LaCroix. And for all of you who drink it, it's way overrated. That is not. I'd rather just give me a glass of water and squeeze like half a lime in it, and I'm golden. Like that.
Oh yeah,
you know,
for
or,
sure.
Or
for sure.
cucumber. Like I don't need
Anything.
in essence of anything.
Stand
in
next to a
sparkling
lemon
water.
tree.
Yeah, dude.
All it is
stand next to a lemon
sparkling
tree.
water with a label that has a flavor on it.
Yeah.
But there's actually no flavor in the. I bet if you drank them all back to back, dude.
You know what it was like? It was like drinking absolutely nothing. Like that's just bubbly, and then having a cloud of what smells like cherry lime just follow it down your throat.
Have
you
you
don't
ever had
really
that?
taste it, but
Do you like sparkling water normally?
No, I don't.
Okay, like the Perrier or whatever.
Pierre,
That's
yeah.
Oh, Perrier.
Yeah, whatever.
there we go.
Whatever, dude. They taste the same.
Yeah. Dude, but one is from like the Alps or something, isn't
It's
it?
probably the same company, and they just slapped LaCroix or whatever
You know,
on there.
we should open up 50 companies and sell this stuff under a different label. That's what we should do.
Different flavor for every single
Well,
one.
here's the
Mystery
problem,
flavor.
though, Josh. Here's the problem. If you want to sell it and you want it to be successful, it
You
has
have
to have a French name, and I don't know if that's going to work for you. We can call it Le Douce.
Le Douce. I like it. So we'll be coming out with our own line of sparkling waters called Le Douce, and be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Drew, how was your week?
Dude, my week was busy. It was really busy. We started out Thursday night. We had our work dinner. And at this dinner, there's probably like, I don't know, maybe 400 people. You know, it's like all these farmers, and they bring all of their friends and family members and all that kind of stuff. Well, they always do this raffle, dude. This was my 5th year at this dinner. This is my 5th year putting in raffle tickets. And this is my 5th year winning absolutely nothing.
Oh, man.
While it was popping off all around me, dude.
Like everyone at your table.
Not my table, but everyone around me. And it never fails, dude, that anytime that we bring someone new, they win. And we have the same amount of tickets in there, dude.
Of course. That's how it goes.
Yeah, and granted, it's not stuff that normally that I want to win. You know, like one of them was the centerpiece. I don't want the centerpiece from the table.
You need to look at this from a positive perspective. And my advice to you would be, look at it from this way. If you didn't have bad luck, you wouldn't have any at all.
Well, that's dude. Okay, so funny thing about that, Elizabeth used to win something at these dinners every single year, and I was like, "Hey, babe, when we get married, everything's gonna change for you in a very,
You warned her. You warned her. Yeah,
in a very bad way. It's called Carol luck. If it wasn't for bad luck, we would have 0.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna change that for you." And I'm, "Oh, you're so sweet."
Yeah, no.
We got married.
Naive.
Dude. Yeah, dude.
Oh, you're so cute.
I bet you in the last 5 years, because it's all there. The dinners that we go to are always held at the fairgrounds, and we've gone to a couple other ones that our parents have taken us to. And in those 5 years, dude, neither one of us has won a single thing. Nothing, dude.
Oh, man.
We can't even get a centerpiece.
I don't even want the centerpiece, but I just want to win.
I just want to win. I want my number called out. That dude, that's the luck of the Irish.
And we can't we can't even get there in time to get the free hats they're handing out. I don't want to wear it. I don't like it, but I want it. They had these Yetis there. They were raffling off 2 Yeti coolers, and I thought, man, I could really use one of those. Well, if I didn't win one tonight, I figure, hey, I'm doing this barbecue competition the next day.
Oh.
I'm going to for sure take one of those home. So we get there to this barbecue, and I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, yeah, I'm going to take this thing for sure. Like, this flavor's different than every other flavor here. You know, this is for sure going to happen. And they're going through, and they're calling out because you write your number on top of your little box. And mine was number 4. And so when it got to ribs, you know, they did 3rd place. They called this guy, and everyone's clapping. And then they did 2nd place, and this guy goes up there, and everyone's clapping. And then they get to mine, and they go, we'd like to make some special remarks about these ribs. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Someone noticed. And they're just saying all these nice things. And I'm like, whoo, it's my time.
Here it comes.
I've been preparing my speech.
Number 1.
Yeah, I'm good to go. And then they go, and that's number 14.
Oh, man.
And then my heart just dropped into my stomach, and I was like, oh.
They did that on purpose.
Oh, dude.
They did that on purpose.
It was 100 degrees there that day. We were barbecuing on the blacktop, dude. For like 6 hours, I was sweating my bag off all day, dude. And
spoilers.
Yo, guiding me through that one. Thank you. And then I got 0 Yetis. So I had my shot at 4 Yetis, dude. And I came away with 0 Yetis. So
Dude.
I'm sorry, bro.
I guess I just wasn't
I'm
Yeti.
so sorry.
That's amazing. Now you know that the deal is, dude, you're going to go out and buy one, and then you're going to win one.
That's
right?
exactly what happens.
No,
man.
dude. No. And I'm never going to barbecue again either.
Oh.
And I'm also done going to those work dinners.
Did you just trash your barbecue when you got home?
I'm going to have a lot more time for podcasts.
You can't quit, man. That's very Irish of you, but completely un-American.
Wait, American like 1776 or American like 2018?
Yes.
Well, hey, on that note, when we come back, we're going to jump into an awesome main topic. We're doing Recast A Film, Sean Connery, so stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, and welcome back to You, Me, and He. Tonight, we want to get into an awesome topic. We are talking Recast A Film, Sean Connery. We're talking iconic movie roles that if Sean Connery would have been placed in, it would have been so much better.
Epic.
So, fellas, who wants to go first?
I really want Andrew to go first.
Why?
Because I saw your pick, and I think it's going to be amazing. Start us off right, bro.
Okay, so when I started going back and looking at actually, I thought yours was pretty awesome too.
Yeah, it's going to be good too.
And that one actually, yours is interesting as well. Dude, when I started thinking back on, old movies, the one that really came to mind for me was, well, actually I had two. Original one that I thought was Lord of the Rings, but then I went back on that one because I thought of a better one.
Wait, who would you have put him as Lord of the Rings?
Gandalf, dude.
It's always Gandalf, right?
Sure, always. Any actor, Gandalf.
Whoever you're gonna switch out is just Gandalf.
Okay.
But dude, I thought that he would. If you look back on Indiana Jones, dude, he would have been.
Exactly what I was just thinking.
Yeah, dude. He would have been awesome as John Hammond in Jurassic Park.
Okay, wait. Explain yourself.
Okay, I got one before he even goes into an explanation, because the first thing I thought was was Jones Sr. with an umbrella with dinosaurs going around going,
Yeah, dude.
Oh, please.
Dude, yes. Yes, dude. Exactly.
that was the first thought that went through my head.
Yeah, dude. It just John Hammond is just kind of like he's just like a kind of a rich, carefree, kind of dumb, when it comes to like
A little naive, maybe?
Yeah, that's probably a better word.
A lot
dude.
of naive.
Yeah, dude.
Makes you wonder how he got his billions.
yeah, dude. And so I think that Sean Connery easily, dude. Like, I think that is his character. I think he probably could have. He would have been better there, dude. He would have been better.
I don't know why Spielberg didn't go after him, man. It doesn't make any
Though,
sense me.
to get him in that film, Spielberg, he would have had to spare no expense. Dude, I could see it, man. See him there eating ice cream, being like, "My first wish, a flea circus." They would gather around saying, "Mommy, I can see the fleas. Can you see the fleas, Mother? I can see the fleas."
See, dude, that's perfect. Jurassic Park immediately becomes better. That
Oh,
was a
dude,
good
yeah.
choice
It would
right
have been
there.
great.
I like
It
that
would have
one.
been great. But I actually did read that they did offer him the part originally for Gandalf for Lord of the
Sean
Rings.
Connery?
Yeah. They offered him $6 million a movie plus 15% in the franchise, and he turned it down.
Oh.
And they said it lost him an estimated $450 million.
Yeah, dude. But that guy like quit. I mean, when he retired, like he meant it, dude. Like he has not taken a role like since then.
Dude,
So
he
it's-
passed on a lot of really
it's unfortunate.
good. They offered
he
him
did.
Morpheus also, and he turned that down.
No.
No.
Yeah,
That's a joke.
Morpheus.
Because he didn't understand the script
So
when he read it.
they went from 70 Okay, yeah, all right.
He's like, "Wait a minute. How does this guy already know Kung Fu?"
I totally thought you were being serious there, man. I was like, how do
That
you go
is
from
ridiculous.
70-year-old white guy to Lawrence Fishburne?
Yeah, for
That
sure.
doesn't make any sense at all. That's pretty good.
Dude, I will say though, like, with Richard Attenborough, when that moment when he slams his cane down and he's like, "Damn!" I don't know that anybody could deliver that the way that he did. That's like a
Sean
classic.
Connery could.
Sean
Dude, it would be
Sean Connery definitely could.
It would be the same. It would just be "Damn."
See? Automatically better.
Maybe.
But millions more. I see what they're doing. I see what they're doing. We got the
All right,
cheaper
dude.
Sean Connery.
That's right. Oh my god. The budget. The bargain basement.
We spent
Bargain
all our
basement
money
Sean
on
Connery.
cool dinosaurs.
That's awesome. Dude, when I was trying to think of my pick, I was trying to think of like, what is a classic role that when you think of Sean Connery, dude, the first thing you think about is the voice, at least
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
You just think about the voice. I'm like, what is an iconic character with the iconic voice? And dude, the first thing that I thought, you go back to 1977, you get rid of James Earl Jones,
Oof.
and instead, the voice of Darth Vader is Sean Connery.
Oh.
What do you mean by get rid of James Earl Jones?
Wait, what?
You're going to have to elaborate on that one.
You just show him the door, and then you make way for Mr. Sean Connery. He just looks at Luke and he says, "Join me, and together we'll rule the galaxy as father His father and son.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Yeah, it's
what
really
was that?
bad. I know.
What was that? Was the last night was that the movie that he was in where he
The
was
First Night.
Oh, first
First night.
opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Inverse. The inverse.
It was the sequel. That was a quick segment from last night to or first night to last night in 2 movies.
What happened to the other 10?
Something went horribly wrong. Dude, I'm telling you, Sean Connery is Vader.
I think you're alone with your glasses on that one.
Have your kids gotten used to those?
Dude, shut up. We're not talking about that right now.
You're gonna have to stop wearing those when they get to the age of they know who Dahmer is, dude. That's like a creepy correlation.
Dude, all I have to say is I find your lack of faith disturbing. Okay. Anyways. I have you now. Okay, Josh. Anyway, you.
I could see it, dude, but I don't think that his lisp would really come through that mask
Well,
very
who could
well.
take Vader serious with that? I mean, that's an intimidating voice, like on The Rock. I'll tell you that much. If
or
you're
like Braveheart, maybe?
yeah, or even Braveheart, but like in a galaxy far, far away, dude, you know Chewbacca's just laughing, and we've never heard Chewbacca laugh.
For some reason, everybody in space has British accents anyway. I mean, if he's standing there with Boba Fett and he's just like, I've altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further. I mean, it's good. It's good, right?
Dude, everyone has that accent except for the bad guy because he has to sound tough.
That is true.
Or American.
You may be right. They may be like, look, nobody else has a lisp. What is your problem? He's like, I can't help it. It's the mask. Anyways. All right, Josh, then hit us.
All right,
Who's better
all right.
than
So with
Vader?
my pick, man, I went super classic, and everybody is very familiar with this film. It was played by. It's been recorded or filmed twice, and the first one was a very iconic actor by the name of John Wayne.
Yeah.
And the second one
John
was
Wayne. That's a horrible cowboy name. Anyway.
the second actor was not as well known, I guess, but Jeff Bridges. So the dude from the Dude movie.
Dudesky.
Yeah, exactly. My pick was True Grit. Let me just get to the point.
Oh, okay.
And I thought this would have been great had Sean Connery been cast in True Grit back when it was originally filmed. He could have been cast in True Grit in the most recent one too. And they could have used the same actor. They couldn't use John Wayne again because he died, obviously. And Jeff Bridges, I don't know who was thinking on that part, but that just wasn't good. But all I could think, like all this week, was that classic line from True Grit, man, just coming in Sean Connery's voice. Rob, maybe you can do it for me. Do you know which line I'm talking about? You've never seen True Grit, have you?
Tell him the words.
You've never seen True Grit.
Dude, all
tell
I'm
him the
sitting
words
here
so he could
thinking,
say it.
There's nothing I can do for you, son.
there's nothing I can do for you, Sean. Dude, I'm just sitting here thinking, look, have I ever seen the movie?
We should have just done this like we're doing an interview with Sean Connery because no one would know the difference.
No, I don't think so. It's pretty right on. It's definitely
wait a minute,
better than
wait a
Nick
minute.
Cage, that's for sure.
Wait a minute, he's right here. Hello, boys. It's good to be here on your little podcast.
Now you're just starting to sound like Scrooge McDuck.
Dang it. I was wondering if you wanted to see my number one dime. Dude, no, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I've never seen the movie True Grit. I'm sorry. That's my bad. But
You're not a film lover.
I'm thinking if they would have cast Sean Connery in the original, rather than doing a remake, it could have been a sequel. It could have been Truer Grit.
Truer Grit. I like that.
Truer, grittier. True Grit 2, grittier than True.
Still not wrong grit. And the grit continues.
Man, you could have gone a lot of different ways with this one. Like, so many sequels. What were they thinking?
Truer grit. Grit harder.
Grit harder. I mean, it wouldn't have made much sense, I mean, True Grit's a Western. So to have like a Scotsman, parading around the West, in leather chaps and an eye patch.
Wait, that sounds amazing.
Not everyone can live your fantasies, Rob.
Hey, any night you find me in chaps and an eye patch, that's a great night. Anyways.
Let's use the Scotsman. Let's use Sean Connery because it would be grittier
I like it.
than True Grit.
I like it.
Awesome. Well, hey, we want to hear from you on social media. What iconic film role would you love to see Sean Connery recast into? You can hit us up on Twitter at youmehepodcast or on Instagram at youmehepodcast, even on Facebook, youmehepodcast. You'll find us all over the place. Chime in. Let us know. We love to hear from you guys. Now, folks, a new segment that we'd love to debut for you. Welcome to True Story with Rob Lambert. Oh. We'll do some music right there.
Maybe we can use the music from Dateline NBC.
Hey, dude, no, I was thinking The Office. You know when Andy records that thing on his phone? Rocks in the treetop for the day long. Where's my freaking cell phone?
Somebody doesn't tell me where my cell phone is. I'm going to lose my freaking mind. Anyways, okay, fellas, let's get down to business. Let's get serious. True Story with Rob Lambert. This is a news story that, although it may sound fantastic, although it may sound like it is larger than life, this is true. Gentlemen, Dateline, Crawford County, Michigan. A man wanted on multiple warrants got unlucky when he was busted trying to make a sandwich for his dog in the middle of an intersection.
That's not unlucky. Unlucky is when you go to the raffle 5 years in a row and don't win anything.
There you go. That is true. That is true.
We definitely need to
when the police officer...
He's just a Michigan resident.
Dude, that's how they do it in Michigan. That's how they do it. A man wanted on multiple warrants, pulled over in the middle of an intersection. The police officer comes up to his window to see what's going on, and he's just like, hey, no problem, just hanging out trying to make a sandwich for myself and my dog, Lucky.
Wait, that's his dog's name?
Yes.
What an idiot.
Now, here's the deal. I will say this story does have a happy ending. It says the operator was placed under arrest for operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated. However, Lucky finished his sandwich and was placed into the care of a nearby family member. So, all I can say is,
don't you hate it when they take the kids away from someone who is definitely a good caregiver?
Yeah, I really can't stand for it, to be honest with you.
Dude, he literally stopped what he was doing to make his dog a sandwich. What better owner is there?
Exactly. I mean, he's not leaving his dog in the air-conditioned room with LaCroix stocked in the fridge. But in a close second place, this is a man who said, nay, I am going to stop what I'm doing right now, and I'm going to build a Hoagie for my doggy. And if that was his largest crime, then I would say no big deal. He was intoxicated in the middle of the road. That's a little rough. But this is a man who cared about his pup, and now he sits in the drunk tank while his dog has a full belly and is hanging out with family. That's how they do it in Michigan, fellas.
That's pretty rough. Hey, I know somebody who, I'm not going to say any names, but after work, they used to do a pretty physically demanding job. They went over to a friend's house, had 2 or 3 beers. Well, they were on their way home, stopped at McDonald's in the drive-thru, passed out in the drive-thru.
Oh, no.
They called the cops. Cops showed up, got a DUI.
Oh. That's an unfortunate decision to
Falling asleep in the McDonald's drive-thru.
All I'm saying, folks, the moral of this story is if you're going to drive drunk, and if you're going to make a sandwich for your dog, pull over. Don't do it in the middle of the intersection. You're both going to enjoy the sandwich, and you're not going to end up in the drunk tank. There you go.
Yeah, do it in the middle of the highway instead.
That's adventurous. I will tell you that right now. Extreme sandwich making for sure.
Talk about Iron Chef America.
Hey, hey, if anyone can do it, dude, Dad could do it. Remember that time we pulled up next to him on the highway and he had a full newspaper out over the steering wheel and he was reading it? This was before
While
texting,
driving?
dude. Oh yeah, this was before smartphones.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, we pulled up next to him and we're just sitting there staring at him and he's just looking at his paper, dude, and he glances over and looks back again and then he glances over and just stares and he just tries to put it down real fast.
Well, the thing that I find the most impressive is it says, according to the report,
So,
the individual had multiple warrants, and he failed a field sobriety test that revealed that he was twice the legal limit.
wow.
All right, so
But he was still able to make a sandwich.
Okay,
That's
so
beautiful right there.
Here's my question. Because in the TV show How I Met Your Mother, making a sandwich is the same as rolling some material. So was he actually making a sandwich or was he making a sandwich?
What do you mean? What do you mean by rolling material?
Are you asking if he was?
Was it a?
Are you asking if him and his dog were listening to the Doobie Brothers?
That's what I'm getting at.
Puff the Magic
Well.
Dragon?
Yeah.
It was. All I can say is it was Michigan. Anyways, that was True Story with
you.
Rob Lambert.
Thank you for that true story, Rob.
Nice. Come join me in my backyard. Welcome to a new segment. This is Backyard Philosophies with Drew Carroll. Hoo-dee-hoo. Let's dive a little further south.
Perfect. Let's cross the Arkansas border.
I love it. Straight into Chowchilla.
So we were playing cornhole the other day at the baby shower. That's what it is. Sorry, that was the first time I ever attended one. So
It just happened to be for you too.
yeah. Oh, yeah, luckily. So we're playing cornhole, and the bags got a little mixed up, and my buddy grabbed mine and was getting ready to throw it before I snatched it out of his hand. And
Okay. So I'm thinking a lot of people may not know what cornhole is.
okay, so
And when you're talking about the bag, are you talking about?
there's a lot of
What are we
mystery.
talking about?
There's a lot of mystery
All I hear
here.
is that a
right?
guy grabbed your bag and was getting ready to throw it.
Parents
and
are
you're gonna snatch it out of
already
his hand.
turning off the podcast.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so cornhole's a very family-friendly game, believe it or not.
Depending on who your family it is, it's extremely friendly.
So
That's amazing.
you have two boards that are propped up with a hole, and you have bean bags, and you throw them from opposite ends, and you try and get them in the hole. I don't know why it's called cornhole, but I don't know that much about it.
You know what? I've never played this game. I don't know anything about it. Anyway.
So we're playing it, and my buddy grabs this bag and he starts to throw it, and I grab it out of his hand, and then it just makes me think in the etiquette of it all. In this game, is it actually okay to touch someone else's bag?
So you're asking, is it okay for one man
to
touch another man's bag?
Yes. Yes.
In a game of cornhole?
In a game of cornhole.
What are some of the other rules?
There's no other rules. This is it.
Okay. In a game
I
of
mean,
cornhole.
I know that for me personally, look, I don't want to touch another man's bag, and I'm really hoping that no other man touches my bag. So,
Are you upset when it happens?
let's put it this way. I've never had another man touch my bag. So,
Have you ever played cornhole?
oh, we're talking about cornhole. Okay, wait, hang on.
Okay. Let me put it in a different way, okay? I think if the guy is trying to help you out
Yeah.
and he's trying to reach around you to grab your bag,
Oh my God.
if he's there to help, I mean, I don't see a problem with that, right?
As long as we're all accomplishing the same thing.
Yeah, it's all.
if there's consent.
It's an assist. Yes. You know, I mean, if the rules are agreed upon and it's just an assist, and
I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes even with an assist, when someone else touches my bag or grabs my bag, I feel like it just throws off my whole game.
You're almost offended by it, right?
Well, yeah, dude. It's like you just
wait. Is it because they're famous quote tainting your bag?
Well, dude, you just broke my streak of me being the only guy during this time to touch my bag.
Well, so here's the other thing I'm thinking.
It's like like a jersey, dude, when your team's in the playoffs.
But here's the thing. Here's what gets a little bit sticky too. Is like he's grabbing my. He's grabbing my bag. Am I supposed to grab his bag? Like, are we like exchanging bags? Like,
well, I
is
mean,
he going to use my bag from now on?
If you're grabbing each other's bag, you definitely have to exchange the bags.
Well, and then you also have to assume there's consent. Otherwise, it's probably looking like there's going to be a fight.
Okay, yeah, but if you're grabbing each other's bag, then there's definitely consent.
Sure.
I mean,
unless one's out of retaliation of the other.
I think as long as you're delicate and you don't touch any other part of the playing field during your reach around to grab the bag.
Okay,
you're probably fine.
So let's just say there's boundaries, but don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yes, I think that's probably what it all boils down to. Actually, there are definitely limits, but as long as there's open communication.
Cornhole should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you have it. It's okay to touch another man's bag during cornhole. Just ask first.
And welcome to our newest episode of Backyard Philosophy with Drew Carroll.
All right, fellas. Well, as we come to the end of our time, let's talk about what we've learned. Number 1, entertainment in America has basically boiled down to pus. It's just pus. Everything is pus, and that's great. Number 2, anytime that a Scotsman is wearing chaps and an eye patch, it's a good time. And of course, the most important lesson we've learned tonight, last but not least, if you're gonna cornhole, it's okay to touch another man's bag. Just make sure there's consent, right? All right, and as always, we just want to say thanks to everybody who's been listening and supporting the show. Always go leave us a review wherever you find your podcasts. It helps out the show a lot. And until next time, I'm your host, Rob Lambert.
This is Josh Frankenstein.
And Drew Carroll. Dude, that still sounds weird. Dang it.
Have a good night, everybody.